Hello, everybody. My name is McKeon. Obviously, I've not changed clothes since the Scream tier list. I don't know what you guys mean. I look completely different. My hair's gotten longer. Can't you tell? I think it's on you guys that I look different. I think that's a you problem. I'm kidding, guys. Anyways, I want to jump into this. So what I'm doing today is a Evil Dead ranking, and so we'll be going from worst to best. Although I will say Evil Dead is one of the most consistently horror franchises out there, like Scream. Scream is also one of those that has been consistently good ever since the first movie, with only really one movie that's not as good as the rest, but that's it. And Evil Dead's about the same. Some would disagree with that, but I think most would agree with that sentiment. Anyways, coming in last would be Army of Darkness. Now remember what I said, there is not a bad movie in this franchise, okay? I mean that. I love Army of Darkness. But the reason I'm putting it in last is because what I go to an Evil Dead movie for is either a balanced mix of the comedy and the horror, or straight up horror. And Army of Darkness, I think the reason they even went with the title Army of Darkness is because they were leaning much more into the comedy. And this is a very funny movie. Bruce Campbell is hilarious in this film. And I do love this movie. You get Bad Ash and Good Ash, and you get the girl that he loves as a deadite, and all of it is hilarious and a total blast. It's just not what I go to an Evil Dead movie for, but I can definitely pop it in and have a great time. Coming in at number 4 is... this one's a tough one, I'll be honest. I should have written down where I'd place them, but I am going to say Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise is coming in at number 4. Now, I was debating between Evil Dead the remake and Evil Dead Rise. The reason I just chose to go with Evil Dead Rise is because I think, I really, honestly, if I could put those two together, I would. I think they are about the same. Oh my gosh, Sutherland, the mom, the actress that plays the mom, wow, probably the best portrayal of a deadite ever. Seriously, ever. She did that role phenomenally, and I had a blast with this movie. I'm trying to come up with a reason as to why it should be lower than Evil Dead remake, and I really can't think of one. I'm trying. I suppose maybe the deaths and stuff weren't as brutal, weren't as intense. It's supposed to make you want to like the family. That is kind of what this one wants. And they are kids, the majority of them. There are only 2 adults. The other 3 characters are minors. And it wants you to get attached to the family, get attached to our protagonist. And really, I only ever felt attached to 2 of the characters, really only 1, but 2 of the characters. And that would be the sister and the youngest daughter, are the 2 I probably was able to, that I liked the most, that was able to make me care for them the most. And so the kills aren't as brutal, because they were relying on us wanting or liking these kids, and having the kids dying having more of an impact than if they were to die brutal deaths. They didn't need to die brutal deaths in order for it to be an impact. You know what I mean? But I think for me, that's kind of where it loses a little bit of points, is Evil Dead needs to be brutal, and really scary. Now, I do think Evil Dead Rise is slightly creepier than Evil Dead 2013, but like I said, I would have to put it below it just because the kills were a little bit lackluster. Actually, no, that's right. There's a whole scene in the hallway. I don't know, guys. I'm having a hard time on this one, but I'm going to have to stick with my guns and put it at number 4. Coming in at number 3 would be Evil Dead 2013. Now, I love this movie. Fede Alvarez did a great job at rejuvenating the franchise and getting people excited for more Evil Dead. This was also what gave Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi the ability to do Ash versus the Evil Dead, which I considered adding onto this ranking, but this is just the Evil Dead film franchise ranking. So I would have to put this one at number 3. It's absolutely brutal, and the honestly the acting isn't as good, but the kills are absolutely gruesome. There were so many times when I was watching this movie where I was going, "Oh my god, holy shit! Oh, it's still going. Why is it still going? Oh, yeah." The kills in this are not kidding, man. They are absolutely brutal. It is a little bit too similar to the original, but I was able to forgive that because it did do some things different and make it. Fede Alvarez was able to make it his own, and it is a creepy movie, without a doubt. When it first came out, I actually had a hard time watching it alone. So it is a kind of creepy movie. It actually has less kills than Evil Dead Rise. I don't know. You know what? Can I just put those two together? A Wise? No, I can't? Okay. Well, you guys heard him. He won't let me. Or he won't let me. Sorry. Since when are you in control? I'm sorry. No, Wise. No. No, God, Wise, please. No! Now coming in at number 2 is the original 1981 Evil Dead. I am putting this one at number 2 only because it has not aged well. And I can say that honestly. I am a big Evil Dead fan. Ash doesn't quite hit his stride. This isn't the Ash that we all know and love. He's kind of a bit of a wuss and kind of scared in this one. He was kind of a survivor by luck in this one. He doesn't really turn into the Ash we all know and love until the second movie. But this movie, without a doubt, is what kicked off this phenomenal franchise. It was made by just a couple of film students, kids, younger than I am now, and they made this movie, and it didn't go to theaters either. It went straight to home video. And it was at the time the most successful home video release movie ever. At the time it was released back in 1981. I don't know if it still holds that record or not, but it just goes to show you how incredible this movie was for its time and for college students, kids making it. And as a film student, that's really inspiring for me. And it still is kind of creepy, no doubt. Cheryl and the sister in the basement, still to this day can kind of creep me out. So for that reason, and for the nostalgia I have for this franchise and the respect I have for Evil Dead 1981, sorry, I know all the pictures are going to be on this side. For the respect I have for this movie and the respect I have for the filmmakers that made it and how young they were and what they were able to achieve, it comes in at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is Evil Dead 2: Dead by Dawn. Now, this has always been my favorite Evil Dead. It has been the only Evil Dead that has been able to perfectly balance the comedy and the horror perfectly. It definitely has scenes that are creepy. It definitely has scenes that are hilarious. It has Ash at his most badassness he's ever been. He gets the chainsaw in the hand and does the whole groovy line. I mean, this is one of the most quotable movies. It's one of the most badass movies. It's one of the funniest movies. It's one of the scariest movies. It is Sam Raimi hitting his stride. This is when he started to hit his stride. Darkman followed this, and then he went on to do Spider-Man. I mean, this was where he hit his stride, and I love this movie. So for that reason, and because it is simply awesome, it comes in at number 1. I did consider docking a few points because I didn't like the whole showing us what happened with Evil Dead 1, the Evil Dead, the original, in the first 15-20 minutes. and then ignoring all the other characters that were there at the cabin with them. I didn't like that. From my understanding, the reason they did it that way is because Ash technically died at the end of the first movie. So Evil Dead 2 would be kind of more like a alternate timeline. Kind of what some people argue Evil Dead 2013 is it is also a separate timeline from the first Evil Dead. So Evil Dead 2013 is a continuation of 1981's The Evil Dead, and then Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn is a separate timeline that connects to Army of Darkness and Ash versus the Evil Dead. And then you have The Evil Dead, the original 1981, Evil Dead 2013, and Evil Dead Rise. That would all be in a timeline. At least I think I'm understanding that right. But as of how they have it set it up, I do believe that is, I do believe I'm correct. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. But that is my ranking of the Evil Dead movies. I would love to know your guys'. Please do be sure to share down in the comment section below. Hit that like button. It's the best way to support the video and the channel. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I saw like 90% of you guys ain't even subscribed to my channel. So please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And click that bell to be notified on future videos. And share this video with all of your friends and family. If you guys do any of that, I'd really appreciate it. And a giant thank you to my editor, Weiss, because none of this would be possible without him. So thank you, Weiss. You know I love you, man. Don't attack me again. Can you guys help me? Look at this. Look at the stress I'm under. Hey, put that down. Jesus. Was that a deadite? Where the hell do you get that stuff, man? Anyways, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. This is McKimmel signing off.